Dr. Carole Lieberman is a psychiatrist and talk show host from Beverly Hills. Her latest book, Lions and Tigers and Terrorists, oh my, How to Protect Your Child in a Time of Terror. And we thank you for coming in, Dr. Lieberman. This is such a difficult one because, as we were talking about, it really is sort of the new reality that we need to discuss with our children. So give us some pointers on how to go about this.
Well, I call this the birds and the bees talk for the 21st century. It's a talk that parents feel awkward about having. They don't want to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, and so they don't do anything. And instead, we send kids off to school with, we tell them about bulletproof backpacks, or they do drills and so on, but we don't really talk to kids in any more detail than that, and they're very frightened. You know, parents are going to see this year, some kids are going to have more separation anxiety. There are a lot of different emotional reactions that kids have because they know a lot more than parents want to believe that they do. You know, television, the internet, and so on. So I wrote this book to help parents and teachers and school psychologists have these conversations. I give them the answers to questions, the most frequently asked questions. I tell them what things to look for: scared, sad, mad, and bad, and each one has different kinds of symptoms, And then I give them 88 things that grown-ups can do to help them build resilience, and 10 things that kids can do, because the book is divided into two parts, the grown-up part and then the picture book for the kids. So this is how, you have to have, one of the things that parents do that's wrong is to tell them there's nothing to be scared about. You don't have, and then they go to school and they do these drills. If there's nothing to be scared about, why are we having to hide in the closet?
But, I mean, you have school shootings, you have terrorism. I have an 8-year-old, I have a 4-year-old. How much is too much information? Because as we were talking about earlier, not everyone is at the same, not every child is at the same starting point.
Right. This is for kids 5 to 14, and I tell in the grown-up section, you have to sort of judge your own child, not only their age, their actual age, but their psychological maturity. Is there anything else going on in the family that's upsetting them at the same time? And for younger kids, obviously, you talk in little bites. For older kids, you can, talk more about it and go into more sophisticated detail. But, there's a positive aspect, if you want to look at it that way, for school shootings and terrorism, other, 9/11 type terrorists, and that is that it's a call for us to build stronger nests, to make children and ourselves, adults, more resilient in this world. Because whether it's a school shooter or 9/11 type terrorist, there are so many other things going on that are causing us to have anxiety, and we need to do a lot of things to make ourselves stronger psychologically and physically.
And to be aware, I think situational awareness is so important for children and adults. And to start these conversations, I noticed in your book you do mention the likelihood of this happening. It's not very likely. So there are ways you can temper this discussion so that your kids aren't becoming so overwhelmed.
Yes, I tell them they're more likely to fall off their bike or other kinds of things happening than to be in a terror attack. But at the same time, parents can't say, again, there's nothing to worry about. There are various ways of talking about things that bring it down to their level so it doesn't seem so frightening. But once they feel, I know something about this, because they can't really understand things just looking at little news reports. That's very confusing and upsetting to them. But if parents sit down and have a lot of these talks, then they get a feeling of control, of mastery over it when they know what's going on, why these people do what they do.
Well, thank you for being with us. This parental struggle is real, that is for sure. We appreciate it, and of course the book has a lot of good information.
Thank you.
All right.